Hello, everybody. Haven't you all heard how media is dead? Especially print media has died. There's no future in this industry. So I'm here to tell you a story about how we've been able to launch this magazine, the first issue we did last year, and this is the fourth one in the row, and with a print run of 10,000 copies, we are probably one of the largest magazines in Estonia today. And that's from nothing in a dead industry a year ago. The technology. Ooh. Yeah. It's the age of the internet. It has clearly killed this industry. But as said, today we are one of the largest magazines in Estonia. We're on sale in Estonia and Finland everywhere. I think the company where Finland's most prominent bookstore put our magazine in shows clearly what we are trying to do. So where the story started. I'm a journalist. I'm one of those people where Siim was referring earlier as a specialist in the industry, has worked in the media for 20 years. I did a small newspaper where I worked, was Postimees for many years. And then I was 9 years at Reuters, working as a Helsinki correspondent and the Helsinki bureau chief and European technology correspondent. But when this idea emerged, the first people I contacted were Arctic Startup. Dmitry was here last year giving a speech at the same event 12 months ago. And basically, Arctic Startup is the largest startup blog in the Nordics. They are the go-to source for any startup news in the area. So we teamed up last summer and thought, let's go and do it. Because, there is a clear thing, internet versus print. It's clearly good to profile yourself somehow very exactly. And there is an online presence of co-founder, but it's a web page where you can see 2 stories and some information what we are doing, but not really much more. Because we believe that, the feeling when you open the magazine for the first time, you smell it. It's something you can never get online. You can never get that in the App Store or on the e-reader. So where did the story start? First we thought, is it even possible? How on earth can someone go into the media industry which is dying? We looked at the numbers, and what did the numbers show to us? Basically, that's the theoretical background. Years ago, the value was the media could create additional value basically any time after the event happened. Of course, more value was created in the early hours after the news broke, little value when you're reporting on it a week later, and then if you spend more time on the stories, create longer stories, you do create additional value. But then internet happened and the value curve changed somewhat. Basically, 2 days old news have absolutely no value whatsoever. If you do something really fast, it has much larger value because of the automated trading systems and so on. The internet, Twitter, in the first minute, you can create a lot of value for your readers. But then after that, there's a long kind of empty period, and if you report something 2 days old, basically you actually create negative value to your readers these days. So we thought there is additional value to be created in this end. If we go longer, if we go deeper, do more research, we can create new value. Of course, this slide shows nicely why everybody thinks that print is dead. The value of the newspaper advertising has shrunk drastically over the last 10 years. At the same time, if you look at the lowest point, the magazine advertising hasn't gone anywhere. Magazine advert, despite internet, despite whatever you have these days, applications, iPhones, iPads, magazine advertising has actually showed small growth. And it's growing also in the coming years. And within the magazine advertising, the general purpose things which actually compete with the internet have declined. So the niche magazines for the special target group are actually growing quite rapidly, in quite many places around the world. So it gave some promise to us to do this. This shows especially how newspapers have died. Newspapers are the ones which have lost it against Google. But the point I'm trying to make is that technology has not killed media. It has killed the old media business model. Because if you think of New York Times, they are one of the few global medias which are actually larger today than they were 10 years ago. And they are first and foremost a print publication. If you think of Monocle, 10 years ago they didn't exist. Today they sell roughly like 500,000 copies around the world and a hugely profitable enterprise. And in addition to that, we did some of our own research and came to the conclusion that actually the startup community still buys newspapers. We went to the people, asked them when was the last magazine you bought, when was the last newspaper you bought, did you actually buy for them? And they're actually still buying. 2/3 of the people we spoke to actually still bought magazines on a monthly basis. So it gave us promise to actually do something. And when going to the startup community, the approach had to be, of course, appropriate to the market. We didn't have 100,000 or 200,000 to do marketing. We had to do it really completely lean. So where did we start? We went to the Odesk, which has named itself now Upwork.com. It's basically a portal to rent freelancers from around the world. We found a person from somewhere in Asia or Latin America to do the first cover of the potential magazine. It cost us 40 euros. We had the cover and the content pages, and with the cover and the content pages, we went to the potential advertisers. That was last August. We went to the advertisers, said that, we have a target group, we have a magazine idea ready, would you be willing to advertise in the magazine? And after first 3 weeks, we actually had already a couple of the big companies saying that yes, we will buy advertisements. And at that point, we decided we have to do it. And of course, when you're in our region and it's early September, you have to think, where will you launch the magazine? And in November, there is in Helsinki a small event called Slush, which is more than 10,000 people. The startup community of the Nordics is all together. And the idea was simple. We go to Slush and we give the magazine to everybody. And by everybody, I mean we actually were there with a team of 5 to 7 people and handing it out to everybody there. We distributed around 8,000 copies. I mean, everybody didn't take a paper magazine. We didn't reach out. Some people actually said that they didn't meet us there. But we were on stage, presenting the magazine, promoting it, and after Slush, of course, these are the copies of the first magazine, first boxes which were delivered to Slush. And after the first magazine, we had the idea, of course, what to do next, how to take the next step, how to actually make it global. I mean, selling magazines, there's not too much of it in Estonia, but in most parts of the world, people actually ring up the potential clients and start to sell the magazine subscriptions. We spend a few minutes thinking about it, but of course, in today's world, it's not viable business model. We decided we have to do crowdfunding. So for us, it was really reaching out to the readers, subscribers around the world, to get the message out that the magazine exists. I mean, the Finnish community and the Nordic community knew that we were there, but globally no one had heard about us. So we built an Indiegogo campaign. Last spring, we raised 17,000 euros from around the world, kind of got together our first few hundred subscribers, and first subscriber base to go ready. The campaign is still up on the internet. You can still go and subscribe through that. We offered people, that's basically their big first advertiser or partner was Evely, and of course Arctic Startup. But what we offered people was the 1 number subscription and 4 issue subscription, and also being part of the community. The kind of created additional perk for a slightly additional price, saying that if you pay 55 euros, you'll become startup Illuminati. We'll share with the Illuminatis a little bit more information, ask their opinions about things. I mean, in a way, it's a community building exercise. Whatever startup business, whatever media business today, it's a community building. People who read Postimees don't probably switch to Eesti Päevaleht in Estonia, or vice versa. It's something which grows with you. And doing the magazine, it's hard to call it a startup. In a way it is, but at the same time, as Steve Blank has put it, startup is organizations searching for a repeatable and scalable business model. I mean, with the 4 issues, we have proved that it can be repeatable, and we can kind of make the ends meet and make the business grow. But scalable, I mean, how do you scale? You'll go and print additional copy. Printing the additional copy is slightly cheaper than this copy, but it doesn't really, it's not something physical. It's hard to make something physical to explode. So we are working on it. It has proven that the case is there. We have a dedicated team to do it, but will it change the world? I mean, we don't know. It lives. It lives nicely. We will be next month at Slush again. Slush is bigger. The magazine is bigger. We will reach more people. We will reach a bunch of new subscribers and advertisers. I mean, I'm happy. Good. Thank you.